Hi, everybody. Welcome to Ask a Rabbi. This is my very first one, and I'm excited and a little nervous. So here goes.
This question comes from a congregant who prefers to remain anonymous, wants to know if you're not supposed to carry things during Shabbat, if you're keeping Shomer Shabbat, but you can carry things inside a building or inside an eruv. Can you carry things from the shul to the yard of the shul?
That's a great question, although that's one of those questions one might say only a rabbi could love. But I'm happy to try and take it on. Let's step back and try and ask what an eruv is and this carrying issue. So first of all, just a note that according to traditional Jewish law, one is not supposed to carry objects from a private realm into the public realm. So for all intents and purposes, that means from inside the house, let's say, to out in the street. And this it's actually an interpretation of a verse in the Torah, and its primary purpose really, I think, was originally to restrict commerce. That is to say that Shabbat was a special and holy period of time in which we abstain from the normal kind of give and take and hustle and bustle of the work week. And that was represented to a degree by the coming and going of goods from private sphere to public sphere and vice versa. So the problem is that it can be extremely difficult to not be able to carry outside. That includes everything from rolling a baby in a baby carriage to bringing a talit to synagogue and so on. So it can really be quite difficult. And it's for that reason that in many traditional communities erect an eruv or eruv, a kind of wire usually, but it doesn't have to be a wire. It can be there are all sorts of ways to create a sense of enclosure. And in a way, it's what I like to think of as a beautiful legal fiction in which the things that are inside the eruv refers to being mixed or blended. So everything within the eruv is mixed together into a single private realm. So that means within a Shabbat eruv, all the homes in it and so on are part of the same community in a very real sense. They're all part of the same reshut, the same sort of sphere. That's what an eruv does. And so it allows people to carry when otherwise it would be prohibited according to Jewish law. Now, all of that said, what about the question asked? What about bringing food or a talit or whatever from inside our shul out to the lawn? Now, the fact of the matter is that if I were stricter about it, it would probably be proper to build not exactly an eruv, but a kind of fence or eruv-like structure in the front of the synagogue, or really around the whole synagogue to make it into one reshut. But if you have, let's say, a home with an enclosed backyard, you don't need to build an eruv because it's very clear that that's the same reshut. So somebody with a backyard that has a fence around it can just carry easily from inside their house into the backyard. But I'm being more lenient in this regard. And so my take on this is that it's very clear what the reshut, what the sort of the realm of the synagogue is. That is, it's the parking lot, it's the land that surrounds the synagogue, and the division really is the sort of forested area around the shul and the street in the front. And I think that's pretty clear. So it seems to me that the inside and outside of the synagogue are in effect one area, and that makes it possible for us to treat them as such in the same way that the side of the shul is sort of like a backyard in a house. And we don't need necessarily a fence to make that clear. We all kind of understand it. But I do not carry on Shabbat without an eruv, so that means that I can walk around with my talit on the lawn next door. I don't bring it home, so I just keep it in my office until after Shabbat, or I have it here before Shabbat and so on. So I hope that is clear, and I look forward to the next question.